All right, guys, what's going on? Eric here. It's the 9th, and Thursday, pretty much we're done for the day. Still a little bit after hours, but ain't nothing really popping off, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this workshop number 6. All right, so in this workshop is gonna be a little bit longer than most, I would say. Not too much longer, but very much detailed. So you might want to watch this one a couple times, or maybe, you know, write the stuff down. But in this workshop, make sure you have some time set aside because what we're going to do is we'll discuss the trade that was taken today. It's a little bit more of an advanced trade, but we're going to discuss that trade. And then we're going to go into how I set up my Webull account so you guys can get an idea. Like a lot of times when I'm, showing you guys the trades that I execute, you can be like, oh, okay, I know that's, this part of the chart, that part of the chart. You'll know what you're looking at when you're starting to look at my screenshots of the plays that I complete. So it'll be much easier for you there. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to cover in this video. So straight to the point, we'll get it done. If you guys have any questions about any of the setup or any of the trade that was taken today, just let me know. Message me, DM me, tag me in a post or something like that, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. But hopefully this will give you guys, some good insight because this is pretty much what I put in the course, a little bit of what I put in the course. And everyone was asking like, what's the best way to kind of set up, your trading desktop? This is how I do mine. Do yours how you want. Okay, so pay attention to that. The next one we'll do is going to be Think or Swim. Full disclosure, probably not going to be doing no video until like sometime next week because Friday afternoon or Saturday morning in the next 24 to 40 hours I gotta fly out of town. I got stuff to go do. And I won't be back till like Thursday or something like that. Traveling and trading, right? I'll still be trading, but I got other business to take care of, so I won't be back till like Thursday to be able to do a video. Because when I travel, I just have my laptop. I don't have the desktop computers can do all the video stuff while I'm on the go. So, with that being said, don't be alarmed at the little break of me not posting nothing or posting videos anyways, because I'm gonna be busy. All right, still got a life to live. um, so yeah. So other than that, enjoy the video, guys, and let's stay green and get at it tomorrow. All right. Here we go, guys. Straight to the point. We're about to see how I set up my Webull account, my desktop application, and pretty much how I'm utilizing it throughout a daily basis when it comes to trading. All right. So this is just going to be the basic setup of how I personally like my layout to look for trading. You don't have to use it. I'm just showing you guys to make it a little bit easier for you to kind of, maybe set up your own and customize it how you want. Again, like I said in the last few videos, guys, you want to get very familiar with your broker and your broker's platform, okay? Because if you don't know all the tools that you have, how can you effectively trade? So you want to utilize as much as you can as far as your broker tools to give you the best advantage in the market possible. Okay, so this will just be a quick little walkthrough, and I'll encourage you guys to play around with your desktop application or mobile application, whatever you're using in your broker, as much as you can, just to kind of get familiar with it and know the insides and outs of what you can and can't do that'll fit the way you trade. Okay, um, so we'll go from there with that. Now, let me pull this up here and we can take a look at everything together. So, you're going to have your Webull pulled up. 9 times out of 10 is going to look something like this, when it starts out. Oh, sorry, alert went off there for CEI. It's really about to hit 150, like we said. Anyways, um, so pretty much this is what your layout is going to look like for Webull when you open it up. And then on the side here is pretty much where you have, different things like the market, watch list, sorry, stocks, watch list, the overall market, a screener, paper trading, customization, and your account. Okay. So what you're going to do is go into customization. And this is typically what you guys are seeing when I'm copying and pasting, um, you know, my trades on there for you. So we're going to go through doing it on your own in the beginning. If you just download Webull, you'll see here that there are multiple different layouts already set for you. If you, normal layout, day traders layout, multi charts, crypto trading, options trading, all the above. That's my trading layout right there. You can use as many, you can save as many different layouts as you want. Honestly, it's pretty cool to be able to do that. Or you can just use one of the default ones that are set up if you want, whatever you prefer. But I'm going to walk you guys through doing it on your own, uh, basically. Okay. So once you click blank layout, this is pretty much what you get. Now up here, you'll have your widgets tab. All right. And this is where you go to save your layout once you are done designing it. Me personally, if I'm, designing a layout, I would probably continuously save it as I'm designing it so it doesn't, be lost and spend so much time setting it up that you forget what's there, you know? Um, but that's just me. It's up to you. So let's start with the first things first. Obviously, you're a trader. What you're going to need is your charts, right? Now, I like to do, like you guys know, 2 time frames. So I'm going to need 2 different charts. All right. So after let me close this out here. We'll go back to that in a second. Got these 2 charts here, and we'll just pull them up. Um, you know, make them a little bit bigger here. And the cool thing about this, guys, too, is pretty easy, like snap adjustment when it comes to the, screens and layouts that you set up here. Now, of course, the bigger screen that you have, the better, the more stuff you can fit on there. Side note, you guys want to know this too. When you set up your layout or design or whatever with Webull, or pretty much it's kind of like that with any broker, unless you save your layout, when you go to like a new, let's say if you switch to a new desktop or something like that, your settings won't be saved. You're gonna have to readjust those. Okay, you're gonna have to redo all this stuff here. Unless you save it underneath your profile, then you can pull it back up once you come up to another broker. I'm still not sure about the active settings as far as like your keys, things like that. But for the most part, if you don't save your layout, and you go to another desktop or another platform, it's not going to be there. You need to set it up again. So make sure you're saving your layout, okay? But anyways, so we got the 2 charts pulled up. Now, what I tell you guys all the time, and of course I explain it a lot more detail in the course, is that you want to have 2 different time frames, at least. You guys know me. I trade by the minute because I don't like to sit in front of things that long. And then, so whenever you're picking your 2 time frames, whatever time frame you trade on, you want to go 1 time frame above that. All right. So in my instance, 1 minute time frame. We're gonna also need the 5 minute time frame. And you're gonna want to do this for pretty much any broker that you utilize. Okay. It doesn't matter, what broker you have, but it's gonna, it's just pretty much a trading, you know, technique that you're doing there. So always have your 2 time frames there. All right, that's very important. Let me see if I can mute this thing while I'm here. So now here's the thing. Let's say if you're utilizing your chart, and let's say I wanted to pull up Apple. Now I wanted to show on the 1 minute time frame and the 5 minute time frame, but it's only showing up on the 1 minute time frame, correct? So we need to change that. All right. Now in order to do that, you need to click this little button right here, set as group, and you want to set as group one, set this as group one. So that way, when one thing changes, so does the other. So let's say if I type in Apple again, voila, they both changed to Apple. Apple on the 1 minute, Apple on the 5 minute. Let's take a look at one of the stocks that's moving now, actually, just for fun. Voila, same thing. This is it on the 1 minute time frame. This is it on the 5 minute time frame. Okay, so that's pretty much how you do that. So that's one side of the layout that I have. So 9 times out of 10, when you guys see that, those 2 charts there, one above and one below, 1 minute, 5 minute. All right. I'm trading on this. I'm trading on this chart, getting confirmation on this chart. Pretty simple. Now let's go to the next widget. Another one that I like to have up here is the order book. All right. Now let's talk about the order book. This is level 2. I like to have my level 2 go as deep as possible. In this instance, it's going to go to 30. Why? I mean, the longer the level, the more the stats I can read, as far as like, orders coming in, going out, et cetera, et cetera. When I tell you guys about reading level 2, this is what I'm talking about. Anyways, that's it. And I like to make this as tight as possible because for me, guys, I have quite a bit of things on my screen, but not too much. You don't want to bombard yourself with things that you don't really need. And, this is one of them. So next to the order book, I have time and sales. And you might be wondering, Eric, why do you have time and sales if you have an order book? I think I went over that with you guys already, so I'm not going to go through all that again. But anyways, that's another one that we have there. Let me try to extend this as long as possible. And this, it doesn't really matter how much length you extend it to, as long as you're got it to a length where you can actually read it. Now, same thing with these. What do we got to do? Same thing that we did with the charts. You got to set it as group 1. Set it as group 1. As you can see right now, ISE is moving. I think that was been alerted after hours for a while, so you'll be seeing this move for a little bit here while we're playing with this. But anyways, let's go back to the widgets. What else do I have on my screen? We already got time and sales. We already got that. So I like to have the key statistics there too. I usually put this right here, and I want it to be like right here. Set that as group 1. All right. And then what is the other thing that I have on there typically? Let me actually pull up my list. Oh, yeah. This isn't required to have on there, guys. It's only if you want to have it. I don't use it that much, but you know, you can if you want. Order flow. This kind of goes along with reading level 2 things like that. Nothing specific, but I'll have it. I usually have it here. Um, just kind of glance over. So that's up to you, however you want to do that. I always have the short interest there. The crazy thing about this thing, guys, is that it doesn't always work to, you know, every single stock that's being traded. I go into detail on how to utilize these in the course. I'm not about to do all that right now because we'd be here forever. But anyways, short interest. And then lastly but not least, I like to have the classic trade and active trade settings as well too. And then every now and then you guys will see like my positions or orders there as well too. So usually, I'm in like 1 or 2 positions. I'll have it kind of like in the bottom here because I'm not looking too much at my position. I'm trying not to because I don't want it to influence my decision making when I'm trading. So I can stick to my plan because if I don't and I look at the numbers going up and going down, I know I'll psych myself out and I don't like to do that. So that's just me. You can do it how you want. But anyways, set those to the same thing, every last one of them. Keep that there. Now why do I have active trade settings in the classic trade settings? I just like the way the classic trade settings look, but I keep these here because these are my hot buttons. And I go over in the course how I set my hot buttons and hotkeys up for you guys. So I'm not going to do all that today, but this is pretty much how my layout is usually looking. Sometimes not this neat because I'll move these around by accident sometimes, but that's pretty much it. But other than this, guys, I mean, this is pretty much what I'm looking at on a daily basis. I'm executing my orders on Webull, but I'm also looking at Thinkorswim, and we'll do that in the next video, how I have my Thinkorswim set up to be able to trade. So we'll get into that later on. But also here, I mean, these widgets, you have other things. You can have like press releases, different things there, ETF details, news, financial statements of the company. If you want to look at different screeners, different watch lists, I don't need none of that stuff. You can look at the overall market. I mean, there's so much things you can look at, which is pretty cool. So, get familiar with those settings, and if they help you with your trading strategy and how you trade, perfect. Okay, but this is it. 9 times out of 10, when I'm screen capturing this and showing you guys, hey, I've done my trade. This is what it looked like. Boom, closeout positions there. The way I traded, the way the chart looks was right there. It's all there for you. So that's pretty much how I set my stuff up. Now, a little bonus, what I'll do here real quick while I got a little bit of time is show you how I set up my chart. I think I've done in a couple videos how I set up my chart. If not, it might have been in the course tutorial, but I'll go over that here with you guys real quick as well too. So in my chart, now you got to do this for both charts. If you have more than one chart, you got to do this for every single chart. But we go into chart settings, and this is pretty much where we're at. I want to see the extended hours. See, and then pretty much if you want to change anything else. I don't think I change anything else. I just got to have my extended hours on there because I do trade after hours sometimes as well too, as you guys know. Um, and then you can save that. And then the next thing I like to do is add my widgets. Now you got all this right here in your chart to edit your widgets, your chart to look how you want. Now we know me, we know what I like to look at and what I like to trade. Should we go through it? I guess we'll go through it just for fun. So let's start with, well, the moving average is already up there, as you can see. That purple line is the moving average, all right? You guys know I like my VWAP, volume weighted average price, all right? You know I like my MACD, my moving average convergence divergence. We know I like my relative strength index. And my other bad boy who's not on here, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Let me see if I can find you. There you go, super trend. Boom. So quick tip, guys. All those people that are trying to sell you these algorithm indicators about, oh, enter, exit, buy, sell. That's just a super trend indicator. Don't waste your money. I'm giving you that tip for free. Okay, that alone is worth their little, I guess, $100 a month alert service about its stock. That junk just makes me sick. But anyways, this is pretty much it. One, two, three, four, five. Those are my 5 indicators that I use on my chart. So when you're seeing all that stuff on my chart, this is what I'm looking at. Got to do the same thing here. Super trend, volume weighted average price, moving average convergence divergence, relative strength index, and super trend. Oh, it's already checked. Sorry. Uh, do I use the volume bars? Yeah, and the volume bars are in there. For some reason, I thought those were already put there. But anyways, yeah, because volume bars help you with making your decision as well too. I don't use things like Bollinger Bands as my indicators, HMO clouds, or anything like that. I mean, these are great indicators, and in the advanced course, I'm doing like all the indicators for you guys so you can understand how to use those. I don't use them. You should not be loading your chart with a billion and one indicators. You don't need that much. You're making things too complicated, but also too, you'll get conflicting signals as far as whether you need to do this or do that. Just doesn't make sense. Stick to a few and run with them. And I go into a course on details on which indicators work with what and how many of one you should have and how many of another type you should have. Okay. But moral of the story is don't bomb yourself with indicators. All right. Because these are all lagging anyway. If you're trading momentum, price leads to the chart setup. Okay. Price action leads to that. Pretty easy. All right. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Um, I can't think of anything else I need to show you as far as setting this up with Webull. I mean, this is what I'm looking at on a daily basis. We get, the alerts pop up. I'm sitting there. I'll go from, viewing a screen with Thinkorswim and then looking at this. I have 2 screens. Um, Thinkorswim on one, along with the alerts, and then this one on the other, as far as what stock I'm looking at trading when I do trade it. Okay. Thinkorswim kind of gives me the overall broad perspective because obviously I'm not trading every single alert that comes in. Every trader is different. Different trades will fit your strategy however it does. But, with there being multiple ones coming in, you want to be able to identify, which ones best fits your trading style. Okay. And I'll go into detail on that a little bit more in the video. Um, Quick side note, if I haven't said in the other video, I won't be doing another video for probably about a week because I got to go out of town. But I'll be back and we'll resume the workshops when we're done. But until then, set this stuff up, guys. I mean, Webull is free. I think they're running a promotion right now where you get like an Apple stock or something like that. But anyways, it's easy to use. Discount broker. Set this up. Practice your day trades. If you don't want to do that, paper trade. Still use the same format, same layout. If you want a little bit of homework for you, set yourself up with different types of layout styles. See which ones you like better, and how you do it. Just because I do it this way doesn't mean you need to. Like I said, my setup is like this for a specific reason. Over the way that I teach on how to trade for people who are wanting to learn that. But if you trade differently than me, which you should be, you might have different things up there that might help you. Okay. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much today's workshop lesson number what 6 or something like that. So yeah, um, I hope this helps you out, or at least gives you some insight on what you probably need to work on. Um, let me know if you guys have any questions. Put them in the comments below. Email me, direct message me if you don't want them in the comments, whatever. Um, it's fine. And other than that, stay green. All right. Take care. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the trade recap here. The one trade I took today here was ETFR. I'm sorry, EFTR. And it was pretty quick. Wasn't nothing too spectacular today for me. Um, I did miss out on a lot of other good plays that was out there today. Support was pretty good. SPRT, CI was a gradual runner. I mean, it was some good ones out there. Um, I was just kind of tied up in other things here today, so I wasn't really focused too much. And pretty much after the opening bell, I was pretty much in this trade for like a few minutes and then was done for the day mentally. um, so yeah, hopefully you guys, bank today. I know it was a couple of good plays out there, and some of you guys made some good money. So that's great. But let's just kind of go into this one. Now, this trade here was a little bit more advanced than others that I usually do, um, just for the sheer fact that price action kind of called for me to do what I did, and where I was at in my position kind of caused me to, take that risk and was willing to accept the reward. Um, this was a little bit larger lot size, larger trade. You guys know typically we're trading stocks between, $1 to $20 most. Every now and then we'll jump into like something like, AMC or when it's going crazy, um, and things like that, just because, you get more percentage movers, you get higher return on your money. Not really into the big, large cap stocks like Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, and those guys, but every now and then we'll play a higher price dollar stock if it's moving the right way and getting the momentum that we want because we are momentum traders. All right. We travel, we trade. We got to keep it moving. So let's just kind of go into this bad boy here. Pretty simple. It was not a great pre-market for it. It was alerted during the opening bell. Me in my mind, time frame wise, you guys know yesterday it was a killer. So you'll see this a lot in the market too. The longer you're in the market, you'll notice these things. Stocks that do well the day before can sometimes typically do well again the following day. Not always, but it does happen. Um, Me personally, if I don't see a trend, I don't try to stay in it too long. But I do know like sometimes it'll pop and go back down, which this one kind of just popped up and generally went back down like it normally does. Sometimes it'll keep running for a second day or maybe even third or fourth day, depends. But usually what goes up must come down. Pretty simple. So if you made money on the way down on this bad boy too, congrats to you. But you know me, I'm a bullish trader. I trade bullishly. So bell opened, right? But alert went off and then it got halted right here. Okay. And I got in a little bit after the halt. Now, price action led me to do that. So I got in after the halt, hoping that it was going to go, even better. But I knew, from the way it was looking, that thing, sell orders were coming in, that it was going to kind of stay stagnant to where it was at. Then it began to drop. Now this is where a lot of people would get faked out at, and probably be like, oh, I'm going to cut my losses quickly. It's starting to pull back because there are times where stocks will be halted. They'll shoot up and shoot straight back down, which is why you should be waiting on. If you're not looking at price action, if you're trading off a chart, you should be waiting on it to turn over anyway to see if it's a setup. But it wasn't, or if it is, great. And this one, I was doing my what's called my ride the wave strategy. I'm not going to go into detail with that. Deal with that in the course. I don't have time for that. But I got in the trade after the halt. The reason why I held through here because I knew that it was turning down. I knew it wasn't like a complete drop. It was a turn down, and the moving average converged divergence, which is fine. And then right here, when it started to curl up, I doubled down in my size. So I got in like right there, which brought my average down. And then I sold not even a few minutes into that. To that little pop up, which I'm glad I did because look, the stock pretty much just tanked the rest of the day. So you know, unless you were Nostradamus, you probably wouldn't have seen that. But the reason why I did this, and when it pulled back here, is because it was not much strength and it was kind of obvious to see, especially when it lighted up after that. There was no point in me staying in that trade. And you can see um, in the post in the Facebook group when I recapped it for you, I pretty much got out like at this red candle right here. Once again, kind of got out at the top. That's like 2 days in a row I've done that with this same stock. That's the crazy part about it. The same stock. That's coincidental. But yeah, I mean, anyways, this price action kind of led me to see that all those sellers are coming through. Um, like start to turn, you know, measure your risk to reward. I was willing, the lot size I took in here, because I believe Kyle had asked a couple of questions about the trade. I think, you know, um, for all you new people as well, I'll kind of break this down. I mean, go look at some of the other videos. If you have questions about like, my trading strategy and how I trade as a momentum trader, a few setups I trade and how I get the alerts. So I'll kind of try to address Kyle's questions here while I'm doing this recording. The actual program it was the one in the program that I do the screenshot on was Webull. That's where I execute my trades in, guys, and I put that on in the next video you'll see here. I'll walk you through on how my chart is set up so you kind of get a better idea of that, Kyle, and everyone else. What program it is and um, how my chart looks. As far as my entry and exit size, I traded with 500 shares. So yeah, this was kind of a heavier trade. Like I said, I don't really like to trade stocks that are above 20 bucks. Just kind of keep my account balance and risk to reward management size that I'm comfortable with. But yeah, it was 500 shares on the first entry, then 500 shares when I doubled down, when I averaged down and brought my average down, um, and then sold it into the strength. Um, so it wasn't one in and one out. It was two in, one out. Um, and as far as the reason for the stock to pop up like that, again, I mean, as far as tools that we use, everybody, myself and everyone else in the chat room, I assume, if not, we all use the alerts. We just get alerted that the stock's moving. You pull it up, you look at it, see if it's fitting a trading strategy that you have, you execute your trades. As far as tools I use to find stocks, that's really the only thing I use. Honestly, is just the alert system. I don't have time to be shifting through 1,001 stocks throughout the day. It's narrowed down to the criteria that I trade for, which is perfect for me. Not everybody trades momentum stocks. We do because we like to catch stocks before they run and sell into strength. I mean, that's what we do as bullish traders. So I just basically use the alert system um, from the stock alerts that we have. Um, you can use other, things. Some other people have other ways of doing it, like scanning for stocks. There's a lot of great scanners out there that you can customize to fit your criteria. Don't try to momentum trade and use FinViz. I'm actually doing a whole video on that as well too, because a lot of you new traders ask me, "Oh, do you use FinViz to trade? It's free." Blah blah blah. No, just don't. I'll go into details of why not. It's okay later on. So find that video and look at that. But yeah, um, the reason why it pops up, it could be a number of different reasons. Let me check and see if this one had a catalyst. Like I said, I got into it because I knew it was coming off of the previous day from the alerts. As you guys seen, that was like yesterday. It was like a 7 grand trade for me. Like I said earlier in the video, that typically carries over into next day. I don't think it had anything else new. Um, I think this might have just been spillover from yesterday, which is why it didn't, go so far. There wasn't like no major news on it. So that's pretty much it. As you're deeper in the market, that you start to learn that. That was the reason why I ran. But the tool that we use to identify it was pretty much the stock alerts, and you can usually check the previous history of how a stock closed the day before. And I'm doing a video on that as well for you guys too, like different resources and stuff. So just kind of wait for that to come out, probably sometime next week. Finish up the workshop and wrapping it up. Um, but yeah, it'll be there for you. But that's pretty much it, man. So the alerts come through, pull up the alerts. I pull up the chart. I look at the stock, look at how it's reacting um, for a couple of minutes, see if there's a setup there. If it's not, I move on to the next thing, wait for the next stock to come, and just do that repeatedly throughout the day. But I'm very picky with my trades. You guys know, I mean, what 5 trades I did the other day was at the most, and that's because we've been in a bear market for a while, trying to get my trading fix basically. um, But yeah, I usually do like one, maybe two trades a day, 3 or 4 if it's a good day, and that's usually it on average. Um, I'm not trying to be in the market that long, but sometimes you got to wait for the stock for the trade to come to you. You know, it doesn't happen all the time. Um, Sometimes you got to sit on your hands. That's just how it is. This is our job. This is what we do. You know. So that's pretty much it, man. If you have any other questions or anybody else have any other questions about the trade, let me know. But that's just a recap of the day. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Um, and you know, we'll get back at it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Depending on how the market is, I may not trade. But if I do, you get the full glimpse of it. Okay. All right, guys. Stay green.